And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, another epic VeVe live stream. Today, we just have one drop, though. It is another blind box. It's another comic book drop today. We have Marvel Digital Comics, What If, issue number 105. And today, it is the first appearance of the Amazing Spider-Girl. So I think this one's going to be pretty decent of a hodl long term. I don't think that this is going to boom right away in the marketplace or anything like that, but I think long term, it's got a decent possibility to do well. Shout out to Comics and Crypto. As always, tune into their hodl or sell video. They gave this one a hodl, actually, for the long term. Now, my viewpoint on this one, I think in the short term, it could get kind of impacted or affected negatively just because there's a lot of things in the market, I think, whether that's Golden Moments or different Holy Grail comics that are already in the market. I think people are looking to stack those once people think the floor is in the market. And so I think because of that reason, this one could get, on the short side of the stick in the short term. But long term, especially with being able to put these comics in our showroom soon, next couple weeks, I would imagine, I think that's when this will start to pick up steam. So I'll go over the details of this drop and give you my game plan, what I'm going to do if I land another drop today. Hopefully it's a secret rare. I do like the ultra rare cover a lot today as well. A lot of people in the chat early today. Appreciate y'all. We got J East Music first in the chat. Today we'll find out if he gets a drop, being the first one in the chat today. So let's go. Good luck on the drop today, my man. Hope you get a secret rare. Let's get it. Haven't landed the secret rare comic book yet, which is pretty crazy for how many drops I've gotten. I'm not complaining because I've definitely been blessed plenty of times, gotten a lot of ultra rare comics, got a couple secret rare collectibles, one on the blind box, but two of the old school drops. I got that Spider-Man secret rare. Didn't know what I got when I first got that one, but we all see the price of that one now. The Captain America secret rare, I've been blessed to get that one as well too. So the comic book secret rare, that'll come one day for sure. Your local scalper in the building said the real question is, when was the last drop you actually missed? Perfect timing. I think I definitely missed the Aston Martin. A lot of people think I actually got that drop because I did pick one up in the market, but paid a little bit, a couple bucks over the floor of the Aston Martin price, picked it up at the market. There was a comic book recently that dropped that I missed. I think it was the one that everybody pretty much missed. I didn't do good on that one. I might have gotten it, but just terrible timing. It was too early on that one. There might have been one more, but recently I've been crushing the drops again. Shout out to the VeVe guys out there. Hopefully the luck can continue. I'm really excited. I'm not sure how these new drops are going to do, but I'm excited because I built myself up with the MCP, the Master Collector Program, to where I probably will do pretty well in those first 6 months when those points are accumulated and we have the Master Collector Program here. There's points available to buy those lottery tickets. I'm excited for that, but I'm also trying to soak in, the last few drop attempts of this old school way because we don't know when they're going to change it. So I've been just trying to live in the moment and enjoy these drops as it is right now because one day it will change. We got Jerry from the Palace in the building. As always, appreciate you, Jerry, always stopping by. If you guys aren't tuned into the Palace YouTube channel, make sure you guys go shoot them a subscribe. Subscribe to the Palace YouTube. Bunch of people in there always making good VeVe content. Dubes, what it do, brother? Was telling me earlier he made some moves in the market, pick up some golden moments. I think anytime you get Disney golden moments for a cheap price, I think it's one of those things we'll probably look back in a few months from now and just say, you got that for what price? You got Winnie the Pooh for under $300, stuff like that. Because we've seen Elsa, get up to like a few $1,000s. And I've just put a couple screenshots on my Instagram story. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, Johnny Dunn 7 over there. Put some screenshots on my story to show people, the Elsa that was a few $1,000s. I bought that for $190. There's a lot of fun back then. The Superman I bought for like $150. That was as low as $75, $50 in the market. Superman, I mean, we've seen that up to a few $1,000s, even close to like $5,000 at some point. Maybe it was up to $7,000. I forget what Superman all-time high was, but it was up there. I bought R2-D2 for like $500 or $600. There's always going to be new opportunities in VeVe. So anytime if you believe in something, stay convicted. A lot of distractions are going to be out there to try to sway your decisions, sway your gut feeling. So many people have sold their collections in the summer due to a lot of FUD, a lot of fear. And then they tried getting back in and they saw the prices skyrocketing. And I got a feeling that could happen again with VeVe. I think a lot of people are probably frustrated. It feels like a built-up frustration in a lot of people, so they're ready to lash out at anything they don't agree with or another delay, etc., which is understandable. I know it can be frustrating, but also just know that the Ukomi team, they're doing everything they possibly can to be working hard on this. It's not like they're out in the Bahamas celebrating, drinking martinis on vacation right now. That's another thing. I think people, because they don't hear from them every single day, they think they're just chilling, out there living their life, but they're working hard on this every single day. And the other thing about the Ukomi team is they've had obstacles, they've had hurdles that they had to get over before. So anytime they face a new challenge, it's just something that, do you believe in the team? Is that why you invested, or did you not do your research? And any kind of, problem there is, you run away. I mean, I think the people that really did their research on the team, VeVe, what this is, I think they're gonna, do really well, because problems happen in all walks of life. I'm going to be going over the market too as well today in the next few minutes. Just want to go over some early comments. Hey, dudes, appreciate you stopping in. Got a work meeting. Appreciate you, as always, stopping in today. If you're able to go for the drop, good luck today as well, my man. JT in the building. Good luck on the drop, my man. I know you've been struggling a little bit, but I think today could be a good day to get one. I don't know if it's going to be the most in-demand comic. So hopefully, even if it is, a lot of people do go for it, hopefully you still get one, JT. When Goff tip videos, JD, me and BZ need some pointers, big dog. Let's go. I could definitely start doing that. There's been plenty of times where I thought maybe making a different YouTube channel just for Goff stuff, doing all kinds of, Goff vlogs and tips and stuff like that. But then also, I started doing that at one point. If you look down on my YouTube channel, scroll all the way down, I did make some Goff videos on there. I was going to go really hard on the channel. Kind of just want my channel to be Johnny Dunn. Anything Johnny Dunn's into, put it up on my channel. Whether that, maybe, we get to a point where I start getting into video games again and start live streaming that. But I haven't been into video games in a while. Been a little bit too busy for that. Let's go, Kurosemi. Your bag's packed on poo. Or say you packed your bags. You packed your poo bags. Can't even read today. Not yet, Kurosemi. I didn't have enough money to be able to stack up on the poos. I was really trying to make some sales because I'm tapped out right now. Trying to make some sales happen in the market to pick up poo when it was under 300, but wasn't able to make some sales in time. So I was lucky just to be able to finish that set. That really tapped me out right there, just picking up all those golden moments. So not able to capitalize on that opportunity, my man. Definitely think that's going to be huge. If I see poo, Winnie the Pooh, when this whole FUD cycle gets over, I see that being over $1,000. So just imagine people that stacked up, got 30 of those. Something I really wanted to do. But sometimes, you can't always get what you want, Appreciate that. Good luck as well, too. I know you've been struggling, too, on the drop, so hopefully you're able to hit a rebound or something like that. I probably will start doing some golf tip videos with my man. I'm going to go over the details real quick of this drop. Still haven't done that. It's your typical comic book run today. Nothing too crazy, not super limited. We got 30,000 total editions. We got 21,000 for the common. We got 5,000 for the uncommon. 2,350 for the rare. We got 1,050 ultra rares and 600 secret rares. Now, again, I think this comic will probably do well long term. I think it's pretty decent of a comic book, but short term, I don't know if this is going to do amazing. That's the uncommon. That's the rare. Big fan of the ultra rare once again. And the secret rare. I think the secret rare looks pretty good. But I love that ultra rare, the colorway. I think it just pops. I don't love the rare on this one. I like the uncommon. I like the common a lot too. I'd say it's the ultra rare, the common, the secret rare, and then probably the uncommon rare. My game plan for this one, if I do get lucky again, get that ultra rare, secret rare, as much as I love that cover of the ultra rare, I probably will try to flip it. I kind of need some gems right now. I do love the way that cover looks on that ultra rare, but I'm going to try to probably put that secret rare in the marketplace up near 1,000 if I can right away. Get in that marketplace instantly as soon as it opens up, because we all know by now, If the marketplace opens up and only a few people have their collectible distributed or comic book, usually we see that price start out pretty high, only a few in the marketplace. And as more people get their collectible or comic distributed to them, that's what usually brings that price down, hits a floor, and then if there's demand for that product, comic book or collectible, usually shoot back up. So every time I see this comment, Kurosemi, makes me want to go check what the price is. So let me go check out right now what the prices are of the golden moments, especially the ones that just dropped. Shout out to anyone who was able to complete those sets and stack up on the ones that you really wanted. I got lucky with this drop once again. I got a 100 mint number, a rare, a Flounder, and Sebastian. Wasn't the one I was really hoping for. I was hoping for that 3-digit Winnie the Pooh, but hey, anytime you get a drop, especially on a Disney drop, can't be mad about that. Ronnie Lido, sunshine and smiles to you and all today, fam. Appreciate you joining and a little positive energy right there. Appreciate that big time. Good luck today, everybody. I will be going over the market right now. A couple things I've noticed, shout out to anyone who's noticed this in the market as well too. I think the supply is dropping on a lot of these collectibles. A lot of people are still worried the floor price is low on a lot of these. Now, whether that's delistings or whether that's people actually buying these, we don't know for sure. But I do think there's people swooping in a lot right now. We got the Todd Batman. We saw 140, close to 150 of these in the store not too long ago. And it's already only 115 Todd McFarlane Batmans left in the store right now, in the market, I should say, not the store. The floor price is back up to $6K. We saw that dip as low as in the 4,000s. Already back up to $6K. 115 Todd McFarlane's left. This is something that, I always want to point out. Look at the supply. Try to think of how many editions some of these collectibles have, and then look how much is left for sale. 7,500 Todd McFarlane Batmans there are. There's only 115 for sale in the market before it's absolutely gone. And you got to imagine how many are sale for millions of dollars in there. So really, I would say probably 100, less than 100 are for sale at a decent price, reachable price for someone. Probably even less than that, but not too many left. Same with the Rizzo Batman. Only 59 left, down to 10K. It's getting in that range where I may make a couple moves to get a second Rizzo. FA Joker, 640 is the price. Only 93 of them left. 52 FA Penguins left in the market, down to 440 is the floor price. 82 Harley Quinns left. 350 is the floor. We got 42 Nightwing. It did dip below 1K. I saw it as low as in the 800, 900s, but back up to 1K. Got Joe M. Batman, 67 left in the market for sale. Good golden moment slowly pumping. That's a fact, Jay East. That's a fact. Joe M's not loading. No big deal. We'll go down to a couple more I want to touch on before I go to those golden moments. We got Steamboat Willie, 184 left. 2.9K is the floor. I think that's another great opportunity. 132 Superman left. Getting lower and lower. The supply is dropping. And the floor is, pretty low too. So that tells me it's probably going to spring up eventually now. Not financial advice, but just some opinions and some things I've been observing. 2.4K is the floor of Superman. Let me go over these golden moments. Big fan of the golden moments. You guys know me with gold. Anything gold, I'm automatically, loving right away. The fact that it's tied in, this is licensed by Disney. Some of the biggest characters in the world, FAs, like unbelievable opportunity we're in right now. We got Walt. Only 138 Walt's left. I remember when this is over 150, so that's dwindling down. 19.7K is the floor. Pretty low floor right now for Walt, I feel like, compared to where it's been. Could be an opportunity for people. Let's go over the latest golden moments that just dropped. We have the ultra rare Chippendale, $299 right now for the ultra rare. Obviously, I think that has to do with the fact that it's not the most popular character. Now, again, this is another reason or another example. I guess I would say I'm just drop my coffee all over the place. That would have been terrible if I just spilled all over my laptop, my phone. That almost is really bad. Let me get this out of here. That would have been terrible. So the reason why I think the ultra rare Chippendale isn't as expensive as some of these commons, again, it goes to popularity. I think that debate, scarcity versus popularity, is gonna get pretty overwhelming with an obvious answer over time. I've been a huge proponent on saying popularity and demand is going to create scarcity. And again, I think that's why David Yu made these most popular characters the common most of the time, because he knows that the popularity, the demand will be there. And it's a way to put a value on the lowest rarity. And then you put the least popular character as the highest rarity, the ultra rare, the secret rare. So that way it still has some value because of the amount of additions there are. It's the least amount of additions, but it's not that most popular character. So interesting way VeVe does it, but I think by now a lot of people understand that kind of process. Looks like one just got bought. Shout out to anyone who just bought that Chippendale for under 300. But we see it again, Chippendale ultra rare $300. And then I'll go to some of these commons real quick. We got Timon and Pumbaa, Lion King. This one's down a little bit. 190 is the price of this one. I think this is going to be the second most popular common. Timon and Pumbaa, 190 is the floor price. 538 available. And this is I think, one that's going to be the most valuable in the whole set. And it's a common still. This is Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, 419 available. 339 is the floor. So again, we've already seen the ultra rare get flipped by the common. Think about that. The ultra rare Disney golden moment just got flipped by the common. If that doesn't show popularity and demand is more important than scarcity, then I don't know what does. I think we're going to continue to see that. I mean, not every single time that's going to happen, but I think we're going to start to see that trend happen more and more. Then we have Flounder and Sebastian, the rare. This is the one that I got on the drop. And again, it's a rare, is the rarity, but it's only $148 is the floor. 380 available in the market. I think that has to just do with the popularity of it. I think more people are probably more fans of Lion King and also Winnie the Pooh. So I think those two, Timon and Pumbaa, will probably do really well. Those two commons of this set. Again, I think that's why they made those the commons. Then we got Cogsworth and Lumiere. Uncommon. 119 is the floor. So pretty cheap golden moment set. I think it's going to be a point in time where we probably go back to the stream or anybody else who's talked about these prices. And we're going to be laughing at these prices kind of the same way we did when Elsa was $190. And, Bart was $200. Bart was actually $70, but I bought a Bart and Homer when it was $200 because I couldn't buy one of the cheaper ones. Everything was just too late. So I said, you know what? I have to lock this in. That's one of the things I like to do. If I believe in a collectible and I really, really want the collectible or comic book and it's out in the market and you can't buy that floor price because it's just going too quick, I like to scroll down, maybe pay a little bit more above floor. First of all, I like to make sure I buy it off a real person and not like a private random account. That's one thing I try to do most of the time. And also, it's how you actually lock one in. Sometimes the floor price, it may say $70, but by the time you click on it, it's going to be gone. So if you really believe in something, you may overpay a little bit, but if you really, really want to lock one in, sometimes that's what you need to do. Let's go. We got Punch in the building. You went shopping yesterday. Let's go. I think this is the time to go shopping, not financial advice, but we're going to see how many people start FOMOing in when the prices start skyrocketing. Todd's 10K again. These golden moments are popping off. That's when you start to see, a lot of people looking around trying to shop then. And it's just the psychology of it is crazy to see play out in real time. Shout out to Andre Jick. He's talked about the doubling good effect in one of his videos. Anybody who's tuned into his videos definitely has probably seen that part. He hit the nail on the head with it. He talked about how when these collectibles or comics, anything in the world, if it's cheap and there's a lot of them and people aren't buying them, it's not attractive to buy that. As soon as people start buying them, prices running up, it's 5x of what it just was. That same person that didn't want to buy that is going to start to want to FOMO into it then and pay 5x of what it just was. But now it's becoming attractive to people like Todd McFarlane Batman. It's 4K or it's 5K or it's 6K right now even. I think it's 6K I just said it was. Pretty sure it's 6K floor right now. 6K floor. And people are saying VeVe's done. VeVe's crashed. VeVe's, right? Unbelievable. A lot of us who have been here for a year now, we've seen Todd McFarlane Batman. Like I bought one of mine for $300. The ones I weren't buying from the store in retail for $80. I bought one later for $300. Watched it go up to $800, $900, back down to $350, all the way up to a couple thousand, back down. Like, I think that people in this live, especially, you guys know by now too. I mean, you guys can kind of feel out the ebb and flow of the markets these days. I almost made a tweet. I think I put it out in the status or made a comment on the VeVe feed the other day. I said, if I had 1,000 OMI for any time I heard VeVe was crashing or VeVe was sinking, I'd be one of the top OMI wallet holders by now. Just because I've been hearing VeVe sinking, VeVe's crashing since before they even released the Marvel license. Think about that. When VeVe released or announced that they have Marvel license, that's what got so many flip-floppers to come back and jump back on board. A lot of people thought VeVe was done when they dropped the DeLorean. You'd be surprised how many people thought, you know, they were throwing away the DeLoreans in the trash can, making memes of them, saying the common too many editions, you know, putting it for sale, you know, half price of the retail. You know, got away from VeVe. VeVe announces they have Marvel and they're dropping comics. Boom! Flip switches, and all those fudders jump right back on board and act like they believe since day one. We're going to continue to see that happen. I would say just make a mental note. And really, I love these times because, you know, make a mental note, you know, see who's lashing out, see who's attacking people's characters, see who's, you know, just a little bit on edge, because you start to see the true character in people. You start to really see who is who when things aren't going perfectly, you know, when things, I always say it's so easy to be happy, to be making content, you know, to be motivating people, to stay enthusiastic when the market's booming, your account's booming, everybody's quote unquote rich, you know, they made it, hundreds of thousands of dollar valuation. It's easy to be happy with them. But when things aren't going as planned, you know, when the market's down, you know, chaos around the different countries around the world, OMI tokens down, delays are happening, you know, how do you act then? That's what matters to me. It's like when you know, if you win a fight, how easy is it to be happy? But when you get punched in the mouth, it's like, how do you react then? You know, are you going to be the one to complain, to say, you know, call out people, etc.? Or are you going to stay the course? You know, I think that's why I made that tweet the other day, that I love times like this, because I think it's needed almost. You know, if everything's just booming and everybody's just on this euphoric high, it's kind of hard to tell who is who, you know? I think times like this really bring out the true character in people. So I think it's on full display, and it's been on full display the last couple of weeks. If you saw some things or seen some things, heard some things that you may question or say that's not what he would normally do or case, you know, it's probably because things are down right now. You know, people are frustrated. So yeah, all that said, Punch, I think it is a good time to go shopping right now. Kirasemi said, I have a few friends as whales, and they are starting to eat floors up now. They were waiting for the perfect time. With all the FUD going around, it creates a perfect opportunity for them. Absolutely, Kirasemi. And, you know, shout out to your friends, some whales out there. I think, you know, I've always said if I had, you know, hundreds of thousands of gems one day, which we know is happening in VeVe, a lot of gems are in the app, there's not buy pressure right now. And I always said I got the feeling of, well, if I'm a whale, I guess with NFTs, people will call me a whale, but I don't consider I am, because, I mean, I don't have the most money in the world. I don't have all those gems right now until I sell those NFTs. But basically, if I had hundreds of thousands of gems, I'd be saying, you know, I'm going to come scoop in the market, but when, you know, I don't want to scoop in the market and then the prices drop another half, whatever it's going to be. So I think they've been doing, you know, I've been seeing some whales tuning into a lot of live streams, a lot of content creators, and I think they're just trying to get a pulse of where the community feels we're at right now, if they think things could dip lower, etc. And so that's just my observation of what I've been feeling like they've been doing. So it's good that you've been saying that's kind of validating my thought process there. And that's the thing. Once you feel like things are at absolute low, like Todd McFarlane Batman have 4K, like, do you really think it's gonna go to 2K? Like, so I think they've been just kind of waiting to, see how low things can go until it hits rock bottom floor. Once all that fear is at an all-time high, which I think it has been, you can just get a feeling. You can cut the tension in the community sometimes with a knife, it feels like. Especially when you see a lot of people saying it's sinking, it's crashing again. Those light bulbs, radar, red flags going off my head. Like, that's why I finished that Golden Moment set, because I said, wow, okay, these are way too cheap. I feel how much FUD is in the air right now. People are scared. People are unsure, uncertain. And that just brought me back to March of 2021. That is why I tapped ourselves out, my family, because I went all in. I felt how much people were not sure about this space. They're not real NFTs, it's on a different blockchain. This was all just making me so much more bullish. And even so, like, I didn't think I could get even more bullish. But once I start hearing all this FUD the last few days, it was unbelievable. I was like, wow, okay. I've been getting questions of people saying, are we early? And then you hear all this FUD. It's like, that should answer your questions if we're early, because of how much uncertainty people still have. And so I think it's definitely a great opportunity right now for a lot of people. Shout out to Kurosemi. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I tried adding even more money after I finished those Golden Moment sets, because I wanted to lock in the sets, but then I wanted to lock in some duplicates of Poo. Like I said before, I wanted to get a 3-digit Poo. I wanted to get at least a few of them if I could, ideally like a handful. But tried adding more money in. I couldn't. So I'm tapped out right now. I got to make some sales happen if I wanted to stack. Yeah, solid move, Jay East. I think today's the day to, practice a different drop strategy, drop technique. And it's probably the day, if you do get a secret rare, ultra rare, and you need those gems, it might be a good opportunity. Now, I do think this comic could do well long term. It's a good possibility. But with the whole sentiment in the market, with how many other things are in the market too, I think people will probably stack some others. And this comic may kind of come down a little bit in the short term. All I know is that we are super blessed with VeVe. Facts, Punch. I appreciate you so much for coming in and talking about this too, because some of these things have to get reiterated. I think when the Comey team goes a few weeks without, talking to the community, because they're so busy, I have a feeling that they got a lot on their plate right now, a lot of things at the top of the priority list that they're trying to get accomplished. So they don't have the time to just spend a few hours talking to the whole VeVe community right now. And when that happens, I think that's always when we go into a little of a unsure FUD type cycle. But as soon as the Comey team comes out, does another AMA, talks with the people, that's usually when people hear from them again. They get bullish again. They start getting reminded of the great things that are coming. And so I'm not saying this video this week is going to be something that's some huge announcement or anything like that. But again, I think it's always great anytime the community can actually hear from David and Dan and the team. It's almost like I feel like people need almost like a hand holding them through the down times, And that's kind of what like all of us are, We're constantly people who just motivate and inspire people to, I'm not saying to grow conviction. I'm saying if you have had that conviction in the VeVe team, the Comey team, in this project, nothing's changed. Like, nothing's changed. It's still going where it's going to go. Maybe some delays happen. Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer than we initially thought. But, I think it's important to have that conviction still. I've seen personally so many people who believed the FUD last summer. So all these other NFT projects, bursting up. And so a lot of people sold their whole Comey VeVe NFT collection. Shout out to Ray Fixie and all those whales out there buying up entire collections of people. And now, I mean, some of those people had, a bunch of great collectibles. And then all of a sudden they tried getting back in, and the VeVe NFTs are booming in the fall. And it was too late for a lot of people. And so they missed the boat, and then they try to FUD it to bring the prices down more so they can get in type thing. And so we are definitely blessed with VeVe Punch. It's so early. But again, anytime you say it's so early in the crypto NFT space, it's kind of cliche. But this is one of those things where it truly is early and a blessing. You may not be a whale, but you're definitely a drop lord. Let's go. Maybe if I sold all my drops, I'd be a whale. December, good evening and morning, my fellow aliens. Shout out to December Bitcoin in the chat, supporting once again. You deserve a drop, December, big time. Timon and Pumbaa was just 170, now 194 gems in 20 minutes. Wow, people are scooping them up since the live stream started. I think even before the live stream started, really. But, excuse me. I think it's one of those things where we're going to see those golden moments. Probably all of them that just dropped recently over or close to $500. And that's when you see people start trying to FOMO into it then. When they could have bought probably the whole set near $500. And also what we're going to see, VeVe just tweeted, 30 minutes. They went back to the 30-minute notification. It's going to be one of those things, yeah, I was saying, like, VeVe is probably going to reward collectors because it's a collecting app. So that means anybody who's collecting the sets, your favorite collectibles, etc., you're probably going to get rewarded eventually in some way or another, right? And so when people get rewarded for collecting the golden moment sets, these Disney collectibles, anything that's in there right now, the people who don't have them will say, I'm going to clip this when it happens. You can bet it's going to happen. People 3 to 6 months from now in the future are going to say, VeVe's just rewarding the whales. When it's like you could have became a whale when these prices were below retail, but you chose to complain and not buy anything. And now you're complaining about the people who did buy them and became whales. So it's like, it almost goes back to the same thing as like people are just frustrated, so they want to complain about anything. It's like with the drops right now, you know, if they release a huge big drop, say Darth Vader tomorrow, right? We know that's not coming. But just say they're dropping Darth Vader tomorrow. People will complain and go crazy saying, VeVe needs to fix their drop system. VeVe needs to fix the bots, etc. They literally complain because it's too big of a drop right now. Then they could drop, you know, a non-important comic book to probably fix those issues that everyone's complaining about. And then you'll have people complain, stop dropping the garbage drops, you know, drop something good. It's like VeVe can't win right now, you know? It's like anything they do, anything they drop, because they have millions of fans right now that are so passionate too, which is a great thing because we all love VeVe so much. You know, you can't win. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants something right now. I think that also has to do with it. We're so passionate. We love VeVe so much. We see the potential in VeVe. We want things to be perfect right now. Trust me, like, of course, I want things to be perfect too. But I also know that things are going to take time, you know, and things can get delayed. It's just how life works. You know, nothing's going to be perfect. That's why coaches, you know, in sports, they come up with the game plan. But sometimes things don't go according to your game plan. You know, sometimes Tom Brady could have a perfect game plan written up for this play. You know, it looks like it's going to be a perfect deep ball to Randy Moss when they had Randy Moss. But then guess what? The defense comes out and they're triple covering Randy Moss. Well, it's like, you know what? We kind of got to do something different than right now. So you may audible into a run play. You may audible to a quick slant. You know, you're going to change the game plan. But you're not going to give up. You're not going to, you know, lash out and say it's not fair. You're going to adapt. You know, that's just what you do. If I get a comic after yesterday's madness, it would be insane. JD question, how do I see all my transactions? So Punch, you got to go to profile tab at the bottom. Then you got to go into your wallet. And then you got to go into transactions. And then there's probably going to be a way, I would imagine, on the desktop to like print all this out. But then you can go through and just see all of you can just go through and just see all of your history there. Market purchase, market purchase, market purchase. That would probably be funny to look at. Yeah, for tax purposes, absolutely, Punch. So that's the thing. It's probably going to be a lot easier to probably print this out in the future on the desktop. But you can definitely go through your transactions that way. It's going to be interesting for tax purposes because it's like, you know, how do you, because most of us don't have the MTL, so it's like if you don't cash out, if you don't withdraw anything, it's kind of a weird space that we're in right now. I'm sure things will get more clear too as the space develops more in the future. Yep, just covered that. What's up, y'all? Good luck on the drop. Yeah, Christian J, good luck, good luck. Market's closed. You're right, market is closed. Want to go over more golden moment prices. Get carried away a little bit talking to y'all. Good morning, Green Goblin. How we doing, brother? Katsumachu in the building. You've been doing well in the drops too, man. Keep it up. Yep. That's how you check it. I'm enjoying this opportunity stack. Jaunt these dips are a blessing. It really is chasing Sundays. It's funny because just a few months ago, people were literally wishing for another opportunity. They kept saying, I wish prices dip. I wish there was a lot of FUD so I can go in and stack a lot of these collectibles. Well, everybody wants FUD until FUD's here. It's like as soon as it's one of those things. What do people say? Be careful what you wish for. Because now the FUD's here, and and prices are low, and people won't buy it still because there's FUD, because prices are low. Tell you what though, start looking at people's reaction, people's how their mindset. As soon as prices start to FOMO or start to skyrocket, Todd's 10K, Partners 30K, Secret or Spidey's 70K, whatever these prices were at one point. Once prices start to boom again, take a look around and see who's all trying out different projects, see who's lashing out. Probably won't see any lashing out anymore. You probably won't see built up frustration anymore, because then, the sentiment is a lot better. The market's booming, people's accounts are booming, people aren't in the red maybe anymore. And you start to see a whole different shift in emotions in people. And that's one thing that I try to tune into a lot too. Is just pick up on people's energy, see how they're feeling. You get a good sentiment of why the market is what it is. It seems like we have high max FUD and ready for a turnaround. It does feel like that, Green Goblin. It definitely does feel like that. And it could be a little, fake out, little, what do they call it? Bull trap, I think, right? A little fake out, little pump. But if it is, I think it's going to, if it's a fake pump and cools out for a little bit, I think it's going to pick back up eventually, because it does feel like a lot of FUD. It feels just like last year when people were blocking me saying that VeVe's sinking because I wasn't agreeing with them. So I think that same kind of sentiment's coming back around. And that's when I get even more bullish than I thought was possible. People thought I was a moon boy before. Wait till, even more FUD happens. I get even more excited. I think the only thing that people get, or people have not regrets on, but wish they could have done a little bit different, is maybe take some profits on that skyrocketing rise pump in mid-January, just to have some gems, some money right now to capitalize on these moments. Because a lot of us OGs now, we realize that, this is just another huge opportunity. This is where the rich get richer. And the people who, don't have that belief, they're just not going to buy and not take advantage of this opportunity. And then they're going to have that belief once the prices are where they are in a few months. And then they're going to say, VeVe only rewards the whales. It's like, what? Hakuna Matata. Yeah, I believe Timon and Pumbaa way undervalued too. That's Lion King right there. That's huge. Again, Gabriel, I appreciate that comment. I think that's a huge reason why they made the two commons, the Lion King, and then that Winnie the Pooh. Shout out to you, Justin Gentry. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. The device doesn't meet security requirements. I think everybody gets that once in a while. I haven't got that in the longest time, but I used to get that once in a while too. Sometimes it'd be like random. I'd be at the golf course and I'd get that. Or sometimes I'd be just randomly in the market looking at certain collectibles and I'd get the it's heavy to load message. And I'm like, what's going on here? But I don't think you'd have to worry about that notification. Noble Matt, in your opinion, what's the most undervalued comic or collectibles right now during the dump? Man, that's a hard one, Noble. I think that's what a lot of people are trying to figure out right now. Because everything seems like a good deal right now. So the trick is to figure out, okay, if everything's a good deal, what's the best deal? What's going to have the most ROI? It's tough to tell an exact collectible or comic, because I think if it was that easy, I think everybody would be doing it, right? I think it's important to look at some previous charts, whether that's cherry charts, awesome person in the community. Comey Wiki, you may have to pay a little bit for that, but I think it's worth it too. And anyone else who has charts out there, Butt Thompson's market prices. I think anything you can do to look at to see what was at an all-time high and see where the prices are at now. And if it's a big time collectible, like a big first appearance of a popular comic book or collectible, it's probably going to have demand no matter what. So maybe do something like that. I still think a lot of the stuff that I check on a daily basis, like, it depends your price range, like if you have thousands of dollars, you want to be able to spend something like that, or something in your price range that's only maybe a couple $100 or $100 or something like that. I think a lot of the comic books have almost like a double catalyst coming, meaning once the market pumps, the comics will probably pump too, but also being able to put them in the showroom. Like, imagine if it was flip-flopped. Imagine if we could have only put comics in our showroom and we've been waiting to put our collectibles in there. I think once we'd be able to put our collectibles in there, the collectibles would boom. And since comics haven't been in there yet, I think the comics will definitely boom. Joe M. Great discussion yesterday on Twitter, hosted by Cavell Anderson. Very passionate discussion, to say the least. But after, was reassured on VeVe's long-term goals and where they are now. Hodl, guys. Absolutely. And shout out to Cavell. He's been someone who's been here since day one, just like me. And we've seen like all of us OGs, we've seen the ebbs and flows of the market, the people's sentiment, emotions. And, I'm glad Cavell hosted that Twitter Spaces and talked to you guys about that, because sometimes that's what's needed. Sometimes everybody needs to tune in to experience people who've been here, seen these cycles, to say, okay, this has happened before. This guy's seen this happen before. And that's what's needed sometimes, because I'll tell you, so many people thought VeVe was done. VeVe was sinking. And because I wasn't agreeing with them, because they were coming to me every day saying VeVe's sinking, they don't know what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. I didn't have that sentiment. I was saying, no, VeVe's going to be the biggest in the world. It got to the point where I was calling people, probably names that I probably shouldn't be, just because I was saying, stop convincing me, or stop trying to convince me to believe that. I don't believe that. I'm trying to convince you to not sell your collection. And then I get blocked. I get the, I'm a moon boy and all this. And then they come back once VeVe announces they got Marvel, they got comic books. Those people jump right back on board, act like they believe the whole time. And it's just a constant ebb and flow. It's a constant shift in the market. We're going to constantly see that. So that's another thing is, I always say, if you don't agree with someone, talk to them personally about it. Don't go, do a public thing and bash their character. Do it with a small group of people, or do it with that person and have that conversation with someone, because I think, especially in the community these days, like, we don't need that negative energy publicly as a whole to the community. I think it's definitely important to keep things positive. So, especially when things are down, it's important to have that positive energy. People are definitely sleeping on Wonder Woman. I think so too. My tablet. Shout out to you. I like the username. I mean, FA Wonder Woman, I think that's big. Even the non-FA, because Wonder Woman is such a big time character. A secret rare, Back to the Future DeLorean. What's the secret rare? The secret rare DeLorean. Jay East or Justin Gentry. I'm not sure what that is. Why can I not think of what the secret rare DeLorean is? Yeah, I think maybe VeVe could reward collectors once the set is finished, like the serial killers. Absolutely. Serial, my bad. Yeah. But Jay East, you're right. That's what I think too. I think a lot of people are kind of worried about that because they haven't yet, or it's been long for them to do it with some of the sets. But again, I think that's just because things get pushed back. Delays happen. And they're really going to find out who's a fan and who's a collector of something because it's been so long. I think Disney will do the same, but probably wait a year. I'm thinking more so of like an anniversary type, airdrop surprise type thing. Disney released their first NFTs, I believe, November of 2021. So in my eyes, it would make sense for them to say, okay, any of the collectors of the first ever Disney NFT sets will get exclusive access, or we'll get a free airdrop, or whatever the case is, on the anniversary or something like that. That's kind of my thinking. Maybe they don't do that. It's just speculation. But it would make more sense they do that like a year instead of saying, okay, like a month from now, because the month might be just a flipper. And I think they really want to reward the collectors who love these. Thoughts on Hero, HRO? I don't know everything about it, Kurosemi. I'm not the most familiar with their team. I was doing a little bit of research on it. I know a little bit about the platform. I think it's a cool idea. I like the gaming aspect of it, the trading card games. I like the fact that you can redeem the physicals for it. But the cards, I don't know. They just didn't pique my interest. I mean, also, I don't have that much money to be trying to just experiment with different projects right now. Maybe if I had extra money, I would get a pack or something like that and just hold on to it just in case type thing. But I'm not one to just gamble and throw my money at any new project I see. Some people may think that just because I did go all in on VeVe, but people didn't see because I didn't vlog it. That's one regret. I really, really wish I vlogged when I found VeVe March 1st. I think it might have even been the last day in February, maybe, but March 1st, I always say, till March 21st. 3 weeks, I didn't leave my house. People think that's an exaggeration. I didn't leave my house. I barely slept. And that's because I had to research. I had to grow confidence in order to go all in. I didn't have much money. So when I'm putting in thousands of dollars into a new app, that's not like just gambling lucky. Like, I knew VeVe was going to be what it was. That's why I'm leaving comments on Gary V's Instagram. Check out VeVe. They have licenses from the biggest brands in the world, NFLPA, etc. Like, I'm telling the world about VeVe before I even got the funds to be able to buy it. I knew VeVe was going to be it before the world did. That's why I went all in. So, like, I'm not a gambler. I'm not just someone who's going to just see a new project. The market's turned down in VeVe. Let me just try to just hop on this train real quick. That's not my style. But I think they could do well still. I mean, anytime you have licensed collectibles from a big brand like DC, I think you have a good chance. I do think that's just going to be the standard of digital collecting in the future, to be licensed with big brands. So I do think in the future there's going to be hundreds of different platforms out there, and the cream will rise to the top. But if you can get in HRO early, maybe you can make some money just being in early at a new project. But it just didn't really do anything for me. It didn't pique my interest. I'm not the biggest into the trading card games. Like, shout out to Kay. I know he said he used to like compete in trading cards, and that's something that I never even thought of doing or he was into. So me personally, I can see why that's something that like caught his interest at big time. If I was into trading card games before him and I saw that, it'd probably be something I might be into. But I don't know, just the cards, it doesn't really do much for me. Maybe I'm biased because I am like all in on VeVe, but I mean, if it sparked my interest big time, I would probably get a couple packs. I would try to find the money to get it, but just didn't really pique my interest too much, Kurosemi. But I mean, shout out to anyone who's collecting them. I know a lot of the VeVe fam is collecting them, so I hope they do well for everybody. I think what's going to happen is if they do well for a lot of people and people profit, a lot of people you'll probably hear around the community, I'm just using the funds to put in more VeVe. I think that's kind of, and I mean, shout out to anyone who does that. I think that's a solid idea too. But again, Kurosemi, I think it also has to do with the fact that people may be bored. The markets are down because when the markets are booming, when Omi's booming, prices are up, you don't hear the community go try other projects. Nobody was trying random projects when the market was at the all-time high. I think a lot has to do with because it's low. Maybe people are in the red. Omi's down. Delays are happening. People just want to put their money to work in something else. Try to make a quick profit in anything. And so I think it's probably why it's happening. But again, they could definitely do well still. I'm not saying they can't do well. Just personally, it's something that it didn't seem like that much fun to me personally when I saw it. But everybody has their own interests though. So let's see. 10 minutes left. I felt like I was definitely running out of time. Thought I might miss this one. Comics potentially have one more catalyst, the Heritage auction that has FF1 9.2 being auctioned April. That's in pre-auction now. Pre-bid starting at 450,000. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. That's amazing right there. Yeah, shout out to Comics and Crypto too, because I think they are, keeping an update on a lot of comics. Like I know Captain America comic that I think just got sold maybe, or bids are starting recently or something like that. The bids were crazy out there. And yeah, the Heritage auction is going to be huge because, again, I think that's also going to let people know just because it's a low grade does not mean it's not valuable. I think that's going to be huge chasing Sundays for that sentiment because, I don't know what grades are being graded out there, but you can look at the prices of a low grade Fantastic Four #1 and see how many thousands of dollars that sells for. So I think that kind of goes into the hand in hand of what the debate was last few weeks in the community. But also, do you see, guys, how in the community it jumps from like one topic to another of a whole bunch of just strong energy, like just huge complaints with people? It's like, and I think that's just built up frustration right now, which is understandable. But I think once you realize the reasoning behind it, you start to understand the sentiment of why it's happening. Next week, it's probably going to be something that the whole community is like arguing about, or complaining about, some not going their way or something. Who knows what it could be? But it does feel like it's just always like one thing after another, until the market's booming and then everybody forgets and it's like the euphoria. So it's just funny we're witnessing the psychology play out in real time, which is always interesting to see. That's why I love golf too, because golf allows me to it's almost like a meditation for me. You go outside, you just forget about things. You're in your own little zone, kind of zoom out on things. That's why I always have a good laugh is usually when I come back from golf and I'll get on Twitter or wherever. Facebook groups are usually pretty hostile with the negativity. I always find out what the community sentiment is at the time. And sometimes, sometimes it's great and sometimes it's a little off. And so I always try to figure out why, what's happening, etc. Nick Crypto Learn, good afternoon from Spain. Just topped up my Omi bags and about to take advantage of this amazing dip. If news on Wednesday is encouraging, you will be left sleeping. That's a fact, Nick. And again, I don't think this video is going to be bursting with crazy new announcements like Alex said on Twitter, but I think it's just going to be great to hear from the team. I think the team is probably going to update us on a lot of things that people have had questions on maybe. If it's not a certain date, it's probably just going to be update on the progress. Okay, ultra rare Delorean. That makes sense. Yep. That's a good one to get right there. I've actually thought about getting a duplicate ultra rare Delorean because I think it's going to be one of those things that's going to be highly rentable. And so building my following up, I've been thinking about different collectibles and different things that I want to rent out in the future. And since that's going to be drivable one day, I definitely think DeLorean's going to be a good one. It feels like the U.S. definitely has a big advantage because they bought all the packs, it feels like, or all those booster boxes or whatever the case, whatever it was that sold out. But yeah, it is unfortunate. The good thing about this, J.E.S., is I think what they're doing is maybe different countries will have like different exclusive collectibles. Like you couldn't get any of those that just dropped recently if you're out of the U.S., but I'm sure one day that maybe that company will have something that just you guys can get and the U.S. can't get to, and then probably have some sort of swap or trade type thing go on there, I imagine. Johnny West Coast, good morning. Did you hit the drop yesterday? I did. I did go for the drop, and I hit the drop yesterday. All I got was like a high mint common, so it's not like it was valuable or anything like that, but I was going for that secret rare. All right, we back. Hey, let's go, dudes. Back in the house. FA020 says, yo, what up, dude? How we doing, FA? Oh, Knight Rider. Would you rather buy 2 Timon and Pumbas or 1 Winnie the Pooh? Wow, this is tough. Really tough question. If I was looking to flip one, I'd go 2 Timon and Pumbas because I mean it's just so low. I think once they start to rise in price, you're gonna flip one. But if I want one for my collection, I want Winnie the Pooh. That's a big time. I mean, both are going to do well. I think that's why they're both commons, Knight Rider. You ask some really great questions, my man. You don't play around. You don't ask any easy questions. Again, I look at it like if I'm trying to do this just for my collection, I probably want Winnie the Pooh in my collection more so. But you could profit. Who knows? Timon and Pumbaa could go up there. Sell one Timon and Pumbaa, buy Winnie the Pooh in the end. Like, different ways you could play that one. I don't think either route you go is going to be a wrong answer. It's just if you really, really want Winnie the Pooh, you may want to lock one in before it gets too expensive. But if you go to 2 Timon and Pumbas, I mean, the first Lion King ever, that's going to be a good one. And then it just may take some time for that one to go up in value, but I'm sure it will. I'm only all in on VeVe. Haven't had any interest in the other NFTs. VeVe just looks way better. The Sultan of SWAT, King of Crash, the classes of clout. The facts, though, really. I mean, I felt the same way, and I've always been a person who's done the research to look into other NFT projects. Like when VeVe first came out, I was doing my homework. I was researching like crazy on all these other NFT platforms too to say, okay, I found VeVe first, but what about this one? What about this one? Okay, this one looks cool. How about their team, etc.? No, I think VeVe's king still. Okay, well, this is a new one. I'll look at this one, see how this is, get a sentiment, get a feel for it. It's cool, but I still think VeVe is number one. And it's just been that way ever since. And so, there's been some other projects that I felt like could have potential. And the way I see things is there's going to be other platforms that probably succeed. But the cream rises to the top. When there's hundreds of platforms that have, licenses from brands, it's going to be the standard. What's going to be the best one? What's going to be that Instagram? What's going to be that Facebook? That Twitter, the thing that the mecca that everybody uses. And I think that's going to be VeVe. Just my personal opinion. It's just my favorite platform. It's always been my favorite platform. Hey, shout out to you for trying to get that on your birthday. 007 Secret Rare Whip. Yeah, absolutely. We need to own this if we were in VeVe, bro. I do want that 007 Secret Rare big time. I only have that Ultra Rare for now. We'll see what happens. Speaking to grades, there's a CGC 0.5 DC 38 pre-bid that has already reached 15. Wow, okay, 1,550. All depends on what comic and the rarity of it for the price. Grade only increases value, not decreases it. Absolutely, Chasing Sundays. And that's the thing. Like when you have a Holy Grail comic book, people think, a bad grade means it's not valuable. Not at all. That doesn't determine the value of it, That's what I think people got confused a little bit. If they saw like a low grade secret rare, they say, oh, it's only a low grade. It's not worth anything. It's like, no. That's still a secret rare of whatever comic book it is. If it's a secret rare of not the most valuable comic book, then it may not be the most valuable or have that much demand. But if it's a secret rare of one of the Holy Grail comic books, it's still going to be a secret rare of one of the Holy Grail comic books, So, again, I think that just had to do with a lot of the built-up frustration people are dealing with. I am good, and you doing great, FA 020. We got a minute 20 seconds left for the drop. Let's go. Robbie Remington made it to the live stream. I'm on my roof wrapped in aluminum foil with a big. Appreciate you, Robbie. Big time. Hopefully the tinfoil hat helps out today. I should put mine on when I do the drops. Oh, man. Under a minute left. Got to take my sip. Shout out to my coffee gators out there. Robbie Remington, if you got your coffee, take a sip. That's the secret strategy. I'm backing out. I felt like it was pretty good on time today. But I'm going to back out again. Still same thing. All right, no lag today. Usually it lags on like one of the seconds, but it felt good both times I backed out. So 18 seconds. Good luck, everyone. My hands sweat no matter what. Can you guys see? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bueno, I think I got it. I had to have gotten it. I got it. This is unbelievable, guys. I think I got it again. Be a secret rare. Talk gate. Secret rare. 3-digit. 777 mint. Secret rare. I forgot I won't find out the rarity on the comics, but 3-digit mint. 3-digit mint. 3-digit mint. This is wild. All right, 15,485. Sounds to me like a secret rare number. Let's go. Oh my God. I can't believe I really just hit again. Timing gate. I don't know what to say. We just got 20 new viewers to probably check to see if I just got the drop. And your boy landed it again. See how many new people? It's probably a group chat of them. Group chat of the haters. Unbelievable. I don't know how. What do you hit every drop? What in the world, man? For real now. Ken Penguin got a dub. Sway Collects got a dub. Chris J got a dub. Let's go. All right, you three. I feel like it is crazy. I feel like I do always hit. They said I had one confirmed purchase, then went to sold out and came up. Wow, Robbie. All right, you may still get one. You might have had the error that I get sometimes. All right, so maybe hit back to the store tab, come back in, and you should have that red bar. Yeah, I don't think you'll be hitting 6 of them again, VeVe Las Vegas. That was crazy the other day. All right, Christian, how did you do the drop today? Did you spam it or did you time it? And same with Sway and same with Ken Penguin. Because it feels like December still didn't hit. We got a lot of people still missed today. So I'm trying to figure out, did the people who hit today spam it or did they just time it? I'm going to go over. I'll show you guys exactly what I did from the very beginning. So it's at like 37 seconds. I was about to just leave it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it again. I'm going to back out. And usually it pauses on a number, but I was like, you know what? It didn't pause this time. It didn't lag. I'm just going to keep it the way it is and let it ride. It's just crazy. I've literally got it down to a science. I feel like I just understand the timing so well now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Click. This is wild. It's gotten to the point where it's like I don't even want to post. I didn't even post the last 2 ones that I got on Twitter just because people literally are that mad that they get mad because I'm getting it too many times. So I only posted on Instagram now and TikTok. JD is officially part of VeVe. I wish, man. I mean, local scalper. I mean, it's one of those things where people say that when I get the drop, but when I miss the drop, there's crickets. People don't say it's rigged or I'm part of VeVe when I miss. It's when I hit. So I think people like to believe those conspiracy theories as opposed to the truth, which is, wow, maybe JD actually got good at something. They don't want to believe that. Let's go. Timing. So Ken Penguin, how amazing does that feel when you time it perfect and you literally just click once, knowing that everyone's like spamming away, and you just click once and you get it. I usually spam, but I timed it like you today. Just wanted to try and hit it. Let's go. Christian J again. So we got 2 with the timing technique. Who else hit? Sway Collects. Sway Collects, how did you do today? Did you spam or did you time it today? So Nick, for the rebounds, I would stay right on that screen. If you miss the buy now and the buy now button's still available, just leave it up there. And every 4 minutes, I would click it. Now, if it's gone away from you, I think the only way to get it is if you click back and come back in and just hope the buy now button's there. Isn't that crazy? I got like 20 new viewers as soon as the drop was over. I think that was the hater group chat. The group chat full of haters tuning in to see if JD hits it again. Yeah, this is how Chasing Sundays, a lot of people feel the same way. The comic books. And I felt like maybe because the timer in the comics was off. Oh, wow, Robbie Remington, your tinfoil hat must have had a hole in it or something, my man. Unbelievable. A lot of people striking out on the 4-minute rebound. J-Hove got one. Let's go. Joshua's mad. He literally saw a human go for the drop and get it and says bot. When I hear those comments, it's actually it's the biggest compliment in the world because those people think I'm so good that I'm cheating. Wait till y'all see me play golf. Let's go. December tuned in just for that. Appreciate you big time. Imagine if I post this on Twitter. JD hits more than the bots. That's one thing that gets me so excited in the moment is that it feels like I am beating like a lot of these bots, even though they're probably still getting in anyway. So L and the 8. But it does. That's why I love the drop so much, Noble Matt, because I've been so addicted to competing to where like I'm addicted to that competition. That's what college kind of brought out of me. And so ever since college, I felt like that void has almost been missing. Like I've been searching for that competition. I think that's why, golf has been huge for me. And so for the first time in my life, even though it only lasts like a few seconds, like probably on the 5 seconds down, for the first time in my life, it feels like I'm on the mound again in college, or I'm in a golf tournament back in the day and last shot on hole 18 or something. Everybody's watching and you're going to beat out 100,000s of people. So that's why I love the drops, just because it brings out that competition in me again. I love it. You think this is a hold or sell comic? Comics and Crypto gave it a hold, a hodl. But he also talked about how he's not going to go crazy over it in the market right away. I think this is probably a hold long term, but I think in the short term, my game plan was to probably sell the secret rare right away in the market and then maybe buy it back if it dips. I think short term, it may not be that great, but long term, I think it's going to go up in value. I am using Wi-Fi. Let me run a speed test real quick. Let me run a speed test right now. Let's go. Speak it into existence, Jay East. I heard it's a hole, but I really don't know. Yeah, Chasing Sundays. My viewpoint, I always try to tune in the comics and cryptos, hodl or sell videos before, get a good, get to pick his mindset on what he thinks. And so I do think I agree with him. I do think, even though he's the comic book expert, I'm not a comic book guru at all. But I do agree with his sentiment on this. I do think it's a long-term hodl. But my viewpoint on it is short-term, I don't think it's going to do great. But I think long-term, it's going to gain value. All right, so I actually don't have a great ping at all. My ping is 19 milliseconds, 344.4 MBS download, 333.5 upload. It says my internet connection is very fast though, but 19 milliseconds. Let's go. Shout out to you, Nick. First drop for me ever. Let's go. How many rebounds are there? So I would say we don't know exactly how many rebounds there are, but it's usually people usually get rebounds up until the market opens, and the market usually opens roughly 30 minutes after the drop, sometimes a little bit before, sometimes a little bit after. But Dubes to say 19 milliseconds is pretty good. That's good to know. So my phone's usually pretty fast then, because I've seen mine as low as like 12 seconds or 12 milliseconds, I should say. 19 milliseconds, I think, is usually on the higher end. Usually it's like 12, 13, 14 type thing, I think. At least the last few times I've done the speed test, it was. No, so see, Rio said, Johnny Boy, have you done that estimate on your master collection points? What you have in your vault? I didn't, and I need to do that. It's something I really want to find out, kind of how many MCP points I'm getting daily. I have done my valuation to see how what my account's worth, but not the MCP points, and that's something that I do want to kind of get a feel for. There's a lot of collectibles that I could have definitely got, more sets than I have right now, but I was swapping in a lot of those single collectible sets for some sets that I wanted and loved, and then a little bit more better MCP points. For example, like that Black Panther set. It's got the secret rare, it's got the ultra rare, it's got 5 collectibles in it. I landed that secret rare on the drop, so that's one of them to where I wanted to make sure I went back and got that ultra rare, all the different rarities, because I think that's going to be a great set for those MCP points. Oh wow, yeah, dude. So your ping's pretty high then, man. Maybe maybe that is a secret. I felt like 19 was pretty high, but because I've seen some people to where they've had a ping like in the single digits like most of the time, and they still don't get it. So those are the kind of examples that I get so confused on, because it does make logical sense to where if you're in a better location, better ping, all that stuff should help out. But I've seen people have told me that they live in Cali, new phone, great internet, low ping, and they still can't get them. So that's the kind of stuff that throws me for a loop, because I kind of feel helpless in those situations. Like, I feel like you should be able to land a couple, but people aren't. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the floors are getting swept. Watch the FOMO happen. All right, just an example, because a lot of you guys on the live now, most of you I would say have been here for a while. Some new users though, which is great too. I would say for the new users, even for the people that have been here for a while, once the prices start to skyrocket in the market and we start to feel a little of that euphoria that we felt like mid-January, kind of watch the feeling of the sentiment around the community, the pulse, because it'll go from negative, lashing out, a lot of arguments, to all of a sudden and trying random, all these different projects to probably start to focus a little bit more back on just VeVe, start, a little bit more positive sentiments, which is great. But I think a lot of people are just attached to those market prices when things are down. People are pissed off, people may be in the red. When OMI's delayed a little bit or it's not moving, we hear delays happening. People get more frustrated. But once the market's booming, you don't really hear too many complaints or arguments or anything. So, Johnny Boy, yeah, 19 ping is a little high, but that doesn't matter with your luck. You might need to buy some lotto tickets with the luck. All right, I'm going to tell a story to kind of give you guys an example of how my luck is. I know it's going to sound cliche or crazy because, how can this guy just be lucky all the time, right? I don't know what it is. I thank God all the time, the higher powers that be. But it's the type of thing where, okay, I turned 23. When I turn 23, I usually don't go to Vegas or gamble or casino or anything like that. I'm not really that type, even though I think it's fun when I go. I have an addictive personality, so I make sure I don't do that too much because I would get addicted to it. But I think it was for my 23rd birthday. My buddies took me to the casino. We were playing roulette and everything like that. I only brought a couple $100 with me just to play. And what I was doing, I was putting like $25 chips on single numbers, right? Just after I got done, I worked my way up a little bit. I was doing black and red. I thought I had a strategy going like just doubling the money basically. Then I started putting $25 chips on each number and started losing a little bit because I was getting too risky at that point. The last one I decided to do, I said, I'm 23 tonight. Everybody put your chips on 23. The whole table looked at me like, who is this kid? I put my two chips, I put one $25 chip on 23, and then everybody else on the table followed. So many chips on 23. They spin the wheel. Guess what number it lands on? 23. And so I won like $900 or something like that. I forget the exact payout, but I'm pretty sure it was just under 1,000. And I won the whole table so much money. Everybody was just throwing me chips here and there. The person next to me was an older guy and says, take that money and run. And I said, absolutely, my man. I'm putting all the chips in my pocket. I'm going crazy. I didn't even count it right then. I was just putting all the chips in my pocket. I go to the bathroom. All my buddies are on the dance floor because I told them I'd meet up with them afterwards. But I stayed on the table. I kept winning. So I called them. I said, yo, come to the bathroom right now. So they come to the bathroom. And I'm like, look at my pocket. They're freaking out. Like, what happened? I said, I turned 23. I put it on 23 and it hit. So, like, that's the kind of stuff that's always happened to me. I don't know if it's because I think I'm lucky. I'm manifesting the luck. I don't know what it is, but just the fact that I'm even here and I found VeVe this early, people in my hometown would say, of course, Johnny finds VeVe season 1. It's like, I just feel blessed, man. I don't know what it is, brother. Wow, ping is 3 and 4. See, I feel like you should definitely be hitting a lot too. I mean, you definitely hit some big drops, but oh wow, at work you're in the 20s. Okay, that makes sense then. Miss Rose was working too. We got some dubs. Only a few dubs though today. Only a few dubs. But they used the timing technique, so that's always good to see. Solid move. Finished the duos collection last night. I think it was too cheap. I think the price is going to be running up. This might be a huge factor chasing Sundays. I've been in the same location for almost a year now. So you're probably right. There's a point before the live streams, I was doing the drops from my bedroom, though, making sure my phone was plugged into the charger. And sometimes I would hit, sometimes I wouldn't. But ever since I've been down here, I've been having amazing luck. Okay, so you already have a Winnie. Okay, good. Then you might want to go to Timon and Pumbaa's because that's pretty low right now. It was 300 last time I checked. First ever Lion King. I think because you already have that Winnie locked in, you may want to. I mean, do you have the rest of that set? If you're going for that set, you may want to grab two. You may want to grab a Timon and Pumbaa, just grab a second one while it's still cheap. Man, that's a tough one, Knight Rider. Or a second Woody. I like the Golden Moments a little bit better than Woody. But I think Woody's going to do amazing too, just because the popularity of Woody. This is, Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, Woody. If I know how popular Woody is, that tells me it's a huge character. Golden Moments just seem special, though. Excuse me. It's a tough one. You might want to go. Let's check out the prices of Winnie the Pooh right now. Well, the market's down still, I think. Dang it. Winnie the Pooh was like $350, I think, last time I saw him. Shout out to Not Sure. He said yes, you again. Hopefully you locked one in today, Not Sure. I'm gonna post this one on my IG story. Nice, good move, Miss Rose. Bought two Winnie the Poohs and a Pumbaa. That's a move right there. I think that's probably the move to get two Winnie the Poohs, I guess, Knight Rider. I was just trying to say because of the price difference, Timon and Pumbaa's really low right now. Shout out to Miss Rose for grabbing two Winnie the Poohs. I think that's probably the safer bet to grab two Winnie the Poohs, just because if it doesn't boom, I mean, Winnie the Pooh, in my eyes, is probably still the more popular character. I think it's just debating on, the ROI potential, depending on how low Timon and Pumbaa is. Below 300, it's hard to pass up a second one. But Miss Rose, I'm glad you got that second Winnie the Pooh last night because prices are definitely going up today, I think. Oh, man, Knight Rider. You already had the one Winnie the Pooh, so that's a good one. I don't think you can go wrong getting two Timon and Pumbas or a second Winnie the Pooh right now. Dubes is probably a great feeling right there. I know it's kind of, you're probably torn letting some things go, but it's always great to have some liquidity for sure. FA took an L today. Zombie Freak struggling on those rebounds. Oh, I had to sell the Dragon Girl. Oh, man. It's okay, Miss Rose. Which Dragon Girl was it? The purple, pink, and gold one, or the red, black, and silver, or the all silver, or the gold and silver? I do like the steamboats. I've been big on those steamboats, even though I only have one of each, just because it's the Mickey Mouse NFT collection Series 1. Now, Series 2 will probably look amazing. Maybe it's Mickey Mouse in color. Series 3 will probably look even better. Maybe it's Mickey Mouse with the Fantasia hat. So when they drop, maybe there's a little bit of dips in the market, but I think having Series 1 of the Mickey Mouse NFT collection will be history. That's Series 1 of the Mickey Mouse NFT collection. There's probably going to be a day when there's 10 series, 12 series, who knows, because it's probably going to be Mickey Mouse in all his different formats, basically. How do you rebound? Good question, FA020. So basically, the rebounds are, you're able to get a a collectible or comic on the rebound every 4 minutes. Now, that's why you want to stay on that buy now screen. If you miss the drop, usually the buy now will stay available to click. So every 4 minutes, you may want to bring up like a world clock or something so you can be on point. Some people have better success like clicking like a millisecond before every 4 minutes, or maybe if you have great connection speed, maybe on the minute every 4 minutes. That's awesome, man. I have to try that on my lucky number 44. You got to go for it sometimes. Now, it's one of those things where I don't go to the casino all the time, and I'm glad because I would get addicted to it. But I mean, last time I went was probably on my birthday years ago. Or maybe I went a couple times after that. But yeah, it's one of those things where that night was incredible. They couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, of course, you know, it happens to Johnny. That's how people always think. Dubes, take it easy, brother. Have a good day at work, my man. Appreciate you always tuning in as well. Dubes is the man. Talk soon, famo. Later, Dubes. Take it easy, brother. Bro, JD's positivity puts out his return to him in luck. I think that might be the case, Chasing Sundays. I really think that might be the case. Or it's Basement Gate. Yeah, it might be Basement Gate. Imagine if as soon as I let down my long hair, I just stopped getting all the drops. I'll never let down my long hair again. Let's go. Shout out to APB. Shout out to the Alien Gang. Hey, Miss Rose waiting for the Golden Bulldog. APB, where's your NFT game at? Where are the Golden Bulldogs at? Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, third biggest franchise. I think that's a safe bet for sure. Not making the same mistake when the prices are this low. Facts. Right before market close, Timon and Pumbaa 184, Winnie the Pooh, Piglet 329, Cogsworth and Lemire 114. That sounds way too cheap. Man, if I had 10,000 gems right now, it'd be tough. Do I buy a Rizzo or do I just go to town on all these cheap golden moments right now? So many deals. Yeah, a lot of people think Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Johnny Boy, I think Chippendale's a good one. It's the second ultra rare of the golden moments. The only other ultra rare I think there was Walt. Now, I don't think Chippendale's going to get it as expensive as Walt, but I mean, it is the only other ultra rare. I cried when I had to let go of my drag rope, but I need 2 Winnie the Poohs. I don't think it's a terrible idea, Miss Rose. I mean, probably going to be able to sell that second Winnie the Pooh for a good amount in the future. What's max on the rebounds? I heard 24. So I don't know the exact minute on the rebounds. I would say maybe 24 or 28. Anytime the market opens, it's probably too late at that point. So I would say you could probably keep going for the rebounds until the market opens, and then that's probably when it's going to be too late. I need a secret rare right now. I need gems pretty bad. I still haven't got mine delivered. So we have 15.5K of 20.9K commons left to be delivered. So what tells me is going to happen is when the market opens, there's probably only going to be a few listed of each rarity, and the price is probably going to be pretty high. As more and more collectibles or comics get distributed, as more and more get put in the market for sale, you guys already know it's probably going to get saturated, undercut. It's probably going to come down in price in the short term. So if I can get in the market right away, if I get my comic distributed to me, I'm going to put it for sale instantly. Unless my collectible or comic doesn't get distributed, and then I can't do it. But that's my game plan for this comic. What would you buy with 10,000 gems? Asking for a friend. I would load up on these Disney Golden Moments. It's hard to pass up Disney Golden Moments when they're going for only a couple hundred. Elsa, I bought for 190. R2D2, I bought right away in the marketplace. I didn't let it dip. I didn't think it was going to dip. I bought it for 600. Dipped down to 300, and now R2D2 is like 4,000. Timon or Woody? Ooh, Heather B. I think Woody's a more popular character, but Timon's from Lion King, first ever Lion King NFTs. Whew. I love the gold. What's Woody at right now? Market's down. Woody's probably, man, I haven't looked at Woody recently. It's probably one of the few collectibles I don't know off the top. Yeah, I wish I had more gems or money to put in. I'm broke. Same, Miss Rose. Same. I so wish. If I shout out to APB, I mean, I would just load up on the golden moments, man. Anytime I see poo dipping, I'd be stacking the poos. I'd be even something like the Clocksworth. I'd never even heard of that, but $100, I'd get a few of those. Just probably double, you know. My thought process. I mean, or you can just sit on those gems too, APB. I mean, it's always a great feeling when you're sitting on thousands of gems. It's one of those things where when the market starts picking up FOMO, and you're going to be like, wow, could have had this, could have had 20 of those. You can never do it perfectly. My collectibles in the building. Shout out to you, brother. No luck for me today. How'd you do today? Missed the start of your stream. Cheers. I hit again. My collectibles, I hit again, my man. I'll go over the film, I guess you could say, today. I started with 5 seconds left, so it kind of happens quick. 2, 1, 0. Bye now. I thought I got it too right away. I felt pretty confident. I'm feeling more confident every drop, it feels like. Did it deliver? Not yet. Still not delivered. My collectibles in the house. What characters do you expect in the next Star Wars drop? I think it'll be Mandalorian for season 3 coming. Definitely could be. You know, there's been a lot of talk with that. I'm not sure what it'll be. I didn't expect them to do something like Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader just yet. But who knows? I didn't expect them to drop Walt Disney when they did. So, you know, you never know with VeVe. They could surprise us at any moment. Also, yesterday was 1,110, and this morning I saw it at 1,500. Wow. See, that's the thing. I think things are going to start picking up a little bit. And just watch the FOMO happen. It's unbelievable. I just sit back and watch the psychology play out. It's like, it's so interesting to see when prices are low, there's FUD in the air. People aren't buying. They're too busy complaining. As soon as the markets start picking up, watch how many people start buying everything at 5x of what they could have got right now. Woody at 236 before the market closed. That's still a good entry point, I think. Maybe it dips a little bit, but FA Woody. What's your ping? Congrats on the drop. Appreciate that, Gino. I took a screenshot of it today. So here's my speed test after the drop. 19 milliseconds. 33.5 upload. 344.4 is the download. JT, absolutely. Clock Dude is from Beauty and the Beast. Huge movie. That's the thing too that I did realize. I just didn't know what movie that one was from at the time, or off the top. They blessed us. Same thing with that Pixar drop. They dropped one NFT from each of like their biggest movies, and that's what just happened with this drop too. The golden moments. Jeez, it's crazy. My nose is so clogged up right now. It's like congested, like in the back, but like runny at the same time. I need to invest in Sharman at this rate. He's got 10 poos though. Shout out to you, APB. I think that's a good stack right there. Is the market open? Hopefully y'all ain't messing with me. Could be though. Market's open. Did I get mine's still not delivered yet, unfortunately. We'll go over the prices though. Secret rare, there's only 5 available. When it's only going for 200. So it's not even going for that much anyway. There's more than 5 available now, though. There's 14 available. That's why the price is 200. I think the first couple people had the right idea, trying to get it off there, $6.99. But as more and more pile in there, prices dip. 17 ultra rares going for $60. Pretty cheap. But with so many more remaining to be distributed, I bet the prices probably sink again. We have the rare going for 20. We have the uncommon going for 770. We have the common going for 650. Wow, you are the man. Congrats. Collectibles, I appreciate you guys talking on, I think it was Rob Stuff, if I got that YouTube name right. And VeVe Vibes, I believe it was the other day. You know, tuning in there to you guys' content the other day. Good live stream. And I appreciate all those comments about the drops. It's been crazy, man. It's at the point now to where I still feel confident if I time it right, but I kind of just can't believe I'm still getting them if everyone else is still striking out. May 4th, Dark Vader confirmed. Elsa was 950. Whoo! Shout out to my collectibles. Appreciate you big time. What was the comment? He was trying to find no luck for me. Have you a timer each 4 minute? Have you a timer? I think you're asking, do you have a timer for every 4 minutes? So I would. If I'm going for the rebounds, I would bring up like a world clock wherever I'm at, like a New York time or something like that, and try to go for every 4 minute rebound that way. Austin, I so agree. You know, it's taken a while for, I think, the community to really understand this concept, but I think people are getting it over time. Now, again, this is why I love the common comic books, a low mint to kind of separate. But again, that's just my personal opinion. And every time I talk about this, I want to make sure I say with the comics, I think the secret rares, the ultra rares, all the comic rarities will do great. Because a comic collector will probably not just stop at the original cover. He'll probably try to get every exclusive or every different rarity cover because they're a comic collector. They're a fan. But Austin said, VeVe giving us the grails as commons and the highest rarities as less desirables is such a great strategy. And I agree, Austin. I think they realize that, you know, the more popular that character is, the more people are going to want that character. So let's make it the common with the most editions so we can make as many people happy as possible. It gives a little bit more of a value to that common rarity, as opposed to making that most popular collectible or character the ultra rare, secret rare. Because if they made the least desirable character the common with the most editions, every time that would go under retail because nobody would want it. Because it's the least desirable and it has the most editions. As opposed to making maybe the least desirable, that secret rare, the ultra rare of the group. That way it still has value because it has, you know, less editions. So it's going to have some kind of value there. But they're going to make the more popular cover or collectible or character the common. So that way everybody who's a fan can at least have one. And then how you separate yourself within that group, you get the low mint or the special mint. Maybe it's the first appearance of that character. That's a huge deal. So I think those special mints and the low mints will be huge. I know there's a lot of controversy and different opinions, and that's okay too, because they're kind of subjective. Not everybody is going to be into the low mints, and that's okay too. I mean, collectors collect different niches. I just think as a personal collector, that's something that I was into big time, something I dove into, is something I was a fan of, and I'm just happy that, I think I gave a little. Low mints have always been a thing before I even start collecting them, but I think maybe gave a little bit of awareness to a lot of people who weren't even sure if they were fans of it. They saw the collage of the low mint comics. I think that made them say, that's interesting. Maybe I'll collect one or two. And then they find out they love it just as much. And that it kind of started to grow. But again, I didn't come up with the low mints. It's always been a thing in the marketplace by itself. There's always been a demand for low mints or special mint numbers. Kobe collects, sells gems. He's legit. And YouTuber Miss Rose. Cheers. Yeah, shout out to Kobe collects. Hey, Johnny, you've been here for almost everything. Is this time the best ever for buying? Shout out to you, my collectibles. Appreciate that. And I mean, I was here when I was buying Todds at retail, $80 in the store when there's like 5,000-6,000 of them left in stock. And people call me crazy. People call me a moon boy then. People call me an idiot because Todd McFarlane Batman has too many editions. It'll never sell out. Well, I was kind of like laughing, like, I know what's going to happen with this. So I'll buy. And then they sold out. And then they got to $300, $250, $500, back down to like $250, up to $800, $900. Is it going to hit 1,000? It crashed. It's back down to $400. Then it went up to $1,500, past 1,000, back down to $400, $500, $600, back up to $3,000, back down. So you're right. I've seen so many ebbs and flows. I mean, Todd McFarlane Batman, I'm laughing because it's still $5K. I got mine for retail, and the one that I didn't get for retail, I paid $300 for mine. So it's still $5K. And so I would say it's not the lowest things have ever been, but for this time period, I think things are an extreme low. I think it could definitely be a huge opportunity for a lot of people who have gems looking to scoop in and buy a lot of collectibles and comics. Obviously, we're not back at all-time lows because then, what is the all-time low? Are we back at retail prices? I don't think we'll ever get there. But absolutely, my collectibles. If I had gems on deck right now, I'd be buying things in the market. That's for sure. Whether that's Todd or comic books or different collectibles that are still low that just dropped, I'd be going to town in the market right now. But I don't have the gems, so I just hodl. And that's what's worked out for me big time in the past. I had a friend who found VeVe the same time as me. His name's Joe Kelly. He actually got the Nightwing, the same drop as me as well, too. After I got my 2 Nightwing on the drop, I tried getting a third one, but it said your account limited 2 per person. So I texted my boy Joe right away. I said, yo, it's working. It's up. He went and got a Nightwing. He only paid, I think, $500 total. Maybe 600. I think it was $500. Bought 6 collectibles back then. He got like the Todd, the Nightwing, the FA Joker, the FA Harley Quinn, like your big ones, the FA Penguin back then. And he just held. He lives out in Oregon with his wife. Doesn't have that kind of money to be, put in the app like I did because I live with my family still. So he just held. He didn't buy throughout the time. He didn't day trade. And his account with those 6 collectibles got up to $20,000. And he just didn't do anything. He just bought a couple in March in 2021 and just held. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that, like, when we're all in this micro and we're looking at the markets 24/7, every 10 minutes, probably even faster than that, some people, you get caught up in that, in the day-to-day. What's it doing this hour? What's it doing that hour? This hour is down. That's the time when I like to step out, step back, go golf, go do whatever, go outside, take a walk, whatever you need to do. Zoom out a little bit, But I think it comes with, we just had that huge run up, all-time highs in mid-January. A lot of people probably bought at the tops there. Things retraced, and now they're upset, frustrated. Even I didn't do the best job at letting go some of my duplicates. I thought I was going to run a little bit longer. So even OGs make mistakes that way. I thought I should have did a better job at letting go of some of my duplicates that I held. I even got in the mix of buying a couple collectibles that I thought were going to keep going up, some cheap ones. But yeah, I didn't make the best decisions this last run up. But definitely think right now is a ideal time that people have been waiting for in the markets. It's so funny, the psychology of it, because when things were at all-time highs, people were literally wishing, praying that one day the FUD would come back and these cheap prices would come back. Well, now we're here. And the FUD's here, all-time high probably. There's so much FUD. It reminds me of last March, April, or May, whenever things were high and then it came back down. It reminds me of exactly that period in time. And so when we do have the cheap prices, the FUD, those same people that were wishing it's here now, and now they're scared. They're like, oh, there's FUD. It's like, it's just crazy to witness. So I do agree with my collectibles. I do think we're obviously not at all-time lows like things were. Like my account's still up big time. But I think it's a huge opportunity because I don't think we'll ever see those all. Like, I don't think we're ever going to see Todd go back to $300. So I think those days are long gone. And obviously Todd's not at that 10, 13K anymore, but it's back. It was just down at 4K. And people are thinking that the dynamics change, worried about this platform, FA minted on this blockchain. It's like, when things are booming, people aren't worried, It's only when things start to get a little scary in some people's eyes, that's when the FUD starts happening. I wouldn't worry about it all, my collectibles. I really believe if I had 10,000 OMI for every time I heard VeVe was sinking or crashing or done or finished, you would see Johnny Dunn in the top OMI wallet holders. I agree, Miss Rose. Definitely a great time to buy, in my opinion, and your opinion too. Not financial advice. We are not financial advisors, but we've definitely been here for a little while now. See, Joshua, JT, I wish more people had this mindset because this is crucial. This is another reason why I think it's so important to collect what you love too. JT said, if you buy what makes you happy, the market fluctuations shouldn't make such an impact. I get comics because I read and enjoy them. If they go up in value, that's great, but they always have value for me. If everybody had your mindset, JT, the world would be in a better place. But I think it's just part of the space we're in. People see the opportunity. This is a collecting app. And I think because there could possibly be investment opportunities, people think it's an investment app. And they literally just buy things because someone else tells them to, or whatever the case is. And so I feel like, especially because we're going to get hit with so many different drops, it's probably going to be impossible unless you're rich. Shout out to all the deep pockets out there. If you're an average person, you probably won't be able to collect everything. It's going to be important that we focus on things that we love. Even I'm in that boat. It's a lot easier said than done, though, because we want to complete the sets. We want this, we want that. But so all the first golden moments get dropped on the market for $100 to $400. Didn't buy it, and they shot up. Not missing out on these. Smart move, Miss Rose. And so you made those mistakes to capitalize on opportunities like this in the future. As long as you learn from them, it was a lesson, not a mistake. And I feel the same way. I mean, R2D2, I bought at $600, dipped down to $300. I should have just backed up the truck and went to town on it, right? Elsa bought at $190. Homer, I bought at $200. And I think there's just going to be a constant, always new opportunities in VeVe. But the thing is to be ready and to see those opportunities when they come. Don't see these opportunities as, fear and scariness and, oh no, and believe the distractions. Excuse me. So I'll tell you what, one of the best decisions in my life has been to believe in myself, trust myself. I did the research on Akomi and VeVe and the team. That's why I was able to go all in. I put our family all in. And a lot of times people see that and think, oh, well, Johnny's just a gambler. He's just going to go and take any project that comes up. Like, no, exact opposite, actually. I did so much research on VeVe and Akomi to where I had confidence to put our family entirely all in on this new digital space because I was that confident. And how I got that confidence was doing the research. I put that work in. I didn't leave my house for 3 weeks straight. And there were no YouTube videos. You couldn't just Google VeVe YouTube on YouTube and it'll pop up. The only videos that were out were from 2018, or from Dan and David doing like little demonstrations to show their product to people type thing. Disney's 100th anniversary is coming out next year. Wow. I did not know that. Oh my gosh. That's huge, I think. Maybe that's when a lot of this pops off. Like rewards. I mean, you saw what they did to celebrate Disney Plus Day, the 50th anniversary of Disney Plus. I can't imagine what's going to happen for the 100th anniversary to celebrate Disney. Like, what? That's amazing right there, my collectibles. I did not know that. My nose is crazy stuffed up right now, guys, so I may have to end this live stream a little bit. I can barely breathe out of my nose, I feel like, right now. Just like Marvel Comics, absolutely. Got 11 on the drop and sold them all. Oh, no. You learn by making mistakes. Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, even I didn't do a good job at, swooping in on the Marvel Comics #1 when they got put out in the market for $1, $2, right? I mean, imagine the people that saw the Marvel Comics #1 for $1, $2 in the market, and they had thousands of gems. That same comic book got up to like $600-700. So, I mean, there's always going to be new opportunities. It's just important to use those past experiences to say, okay, this feels exactly what just happened before. I didn't capitalize on that moment, and I'm not making that same mistake twice or 3 times. I'm going hard this time, and it could work out, could not work out, but at least that way you'll be a lot happier knowing my gut was on this. I felt like this felt right. And if it feels right to you, it's probably the good decision. Absolutely learn by making mistakes. I'm going to go over this comic book one more time in the market. Hopefully mine got delivered by now. Still didn't. Mine's still not delivered. All right, so we got 28 secret rares down to $170. We got the ultra rares down to $51. Still a lot to be distributed, it feels like. We got the rare $19, the uncommon $7, and the commons down to $5. Exactly. Crazy, yep. And again, I think that just goes to show 60,000 mints. No one knew it was going to be 500 gems at the time. I think it goes to show that, no matter what the mint size is, if there's popularity, if there's demand, it's going to make that high mint count edition size scarce. And that's why I've always been a big believer in, popularity and demand over scarcity. Because, like, for example, this tissue, this is a 1-of-1 tissue right now. Who wants it though? It's a 1-of-1, it's super rare. But if you had 10,000 Batman, you're probably going to have a lot more demand for that Batman. It's probably going to make that more scarce around the world than this 1-of-1 tissue, right? Now, obviously, that's an extreme example, but just to goes to show, I mean, I could bring up tons of examples, right? Look at the FA Wonder Woman set. FA Wonder Woman, what rarity is that? Is that the ultra rare of the group? No, it's the common. What's the ultra rare? Not as expensive as the common. Why? Because the demand and popularity of Wonder Woman, right? And imagine if they made Hawk Girl the common. Probably be close to retail, if not under, unfortunately. And if FA Wonder Woman was the ultra rare, prices would be skyrocketing, right? JT, did you get any of those HRO cards? If so, what pack size did you get? So shout out to you, JT. I did not get any of those HRO cards. I don't think it's a bad idea. Maybe test it out, grab a couple of packs, hold on to them, see if it booms, use those profits for whatever else you want to use them for. I do think that's going to be the trend. I hope they do well for everybody because I think a lot of the VeVe fam is into those packs. And I think opening the packs would be a great live stream content, etc. And I think what's going to happen, I think you're going to start to see a lot of the VeVe fam start to say they're just going to use the profits to put into a lot of the collectibles or more Omi, which I think is usually the case. I think what happens is anytime the markets are down or Omi's down or delays happen, people in the community get frustrated, bored. They want to put their money to use in something else, try to make quick profits. And anytime they do, they usually say, I'm just going to use it to get more VeVe NFTs or more Omi. And what that tells me is everybody believes VeVe is the best. Everyone loves VeVe. It's just the fact that, everybody wants everything right now. Everybody wants things to be perfect right now. And so things aren't perfect right now. It's going to take some time, but that's the beauty of being early. I said in one of my tweets, everybody wants to be early to something until they're early to something. Nobody wants to deal with the growing pains, but they just want all the benefits of coming early. It's like, well, it doesn't work that way. With all the benefits and rewards, you got to deal with some of the growing pains too. And it just comes with it. Usually, but you never know. Hopefully it's not a common or uncommon today, just because it probably won't be the most valuable right away. Oh, wow. Yeah, my collectibles. Definitely gonna have to check this one out. You should make a video on this too, my man. I think people would love to, hear your viewpoints and your opinions and speculations on it, maybe. I think it's going to be huge if that happens. I think they'll definitely plan some things with VeVe. And maybe that's when we'll start to see, airdrops for, people who collected the first Disney sets ever. They have every incentive to make, the utility of these collectibles as big as possible. I always look at a lot of these artist collectibles and see the kind of things they do with it. And even though they have a little bit more freedom that way, since it's an artist and not tied to a big brand, big brands, corporations usually do things because they want to make a lot of money from them. So I feel like because of that, they have every incentive to give the most utility to these collectibles. I think a lot of people have been kind of speculating or hoping that the utility that comes with these Disney Golden Moments is, free pass to Disney or something like that. I think it should be. If I was Disney, it's not going to cost them that much money at all, if nothing really, to have a couple, probably 1,000 or 2,000 people to be able to go to Disney for free. Would make these NFTs explode in value. And then they get all the resale percentages, etc. Not even mentioning the rentability with these. Kelvin missed the drop, probably slept in today. Shout out to you, Kelvin. I don't think it's the most important drop. Had a few people hit. No, not too many people hit. I think just a few, but it looks like they all use the timing technique, which is good. FA tissue. FA legendary Johnny Dunn tissue from his basement pre-explosion of the JD. This is JD underground right now. This is JD before the come up. 101 secret rare golden moment. JD, the JD tissue box. That's hilarious. Not self-promoting. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, the link is in his last video. A little self-promotion. I like it. Let's go. My collectibles. I mean, you're always, supporting the channel, my man, from the very get-go. Appreciate you big time. I like, when you come in here, I try to shout out your YouTube channel. Works out both ways. Appreciate it. Of course, JD got it to go. You know how many times I want to post out the videos on my Twitter of me getting it? Because it's exciting. I love it. But I feel like I can't even really do that anymore because how many people get pissed off. I've never been one to... I've always been like the glue. I try to always keep the community together, especially when, people are, attacking everybody's character, motives, etc. I always try to be that glue and keep everybody together. I've been that way since last summer when there's a lot of FUD, people left, etc. I felt like I was that glue to keep things together. And so because of that, if I notice that my videos of me getting the drop piss people off and kind of make the community mad, I'm not going to keep on putting out videos on my Twitter then, because I thought it was fun. I thought people got excited. People saw like, wow, okay, a real human is getting these drops still consistently. And he's actually teaching his whole entire live stream how to get these drops, every single drop. I thought people would be like happy about that. Instead, people would just get mad or like, oh, he got it again. It's rigged. It's like, why is it only rigged when I get it? And it's not rigged when I don't get it. Like someone put out on the tweet, it made me laugh the other day. I forget who it was, but they said something like, you got Winnie the Pooh on the drop? I said, no, I didn't get it on the drop. And they said, oh, that's fair. I was like, wait, what? I was like, why is it fair that I didn't get it on the drop? because I finally didn't get one. It just made me laugh. I was like, wow, that's the sentiment in the around the community right now. If I don't get the drop, it's fair. But if I do get the drop, it's not fair. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out too. You got to do a video showing all your wins. So amazing. Keep my hopes up. Wow. See, I appreciate people like you, my collectibles, because I mean, that's the whole point of it. It's like I'm trying to teach people. And again, I know my way doesn't work for everybody. And I just try to show people, if you've been struggling with the drops, whether that's spamming, try the timing technique. Or if you've been struggling with the timing, try the spamming technique. It's still possible to get these drops. I feel like my strategy is amazing just because I feel like I'm clicking before 90% of the people, because I imagine 90% of the people are probably waiting to 3, 2, 1, buy now pops up, and now I'm pressing it. Well, you're going to be too late. So I'm trying to start my press slightly before I feel and see the buy now pop up. I know it sounds crazy. What do you mean feel the button pop up? Because I'm trying to go, I'm in sync with the timer. So I'm feeling like the timer, like 3, 2, 1. And then like right before I'm about to say, or 0, and right before I'm about to say buy now, I'm clicking. And sometimes I'm too early, but I feel like I've gotten so good at being able to hold myself off, and then click right before I see the buy now. I feel like I've got it down. Let's go. Appreciate this, Kelvin, big time. Brother, please don't stop. You are the glue. You are the unshakable positivity we have in the VeVe community, and you play golf. Let's go. See, golf's like been my meditation, I feel like, because, you know, being inside the whole time, constantly on your phone, I feel like it's important for everybody to get outside, put your phone down for a little bit, you know, just focus on things that you love, because even if it's a walk around the block, you'd be surprised what that does for your mentality, especially when we're constantly just inside all the time, looking at OMI prices, looking at market prices. Like, you need your brain to relax a little bit. I'm totally trying to use your timing technique. Got me 2 wins so far, but you are the master. Let's go. Appreciate this big time. And I probably will have to do a video of all the wins. I'm gonna have to make a collage of that. It's gonna be hard to do because there's a lot. Miss Rose, appreciate you tuning in today. As always, really appreciate your support. Unfortunate you didn't get one today. I feel like I feel almost helpless with you in December, but you know, you will get one soon that you're actually gonna keep, because I know you got one the other day. It was probably a smart decision to let it go. Johnny needs a win compilation that includes all his wins till end up being 7 hours long. If you guys want to see something crazy. So this IG story compilation started with the first ever comic book arc that came, that part 1 through 6. Up until then, I was like on a 10 drop losing streak, maybe 8 to 10. I don't know exactly what it was, but I was losing a good amount in a row. First part, I didn't even have confidence of that drop because I was losing so many times in a row. I was like, all right, here's another L in the comics. That was when I was struggling on the comic blind boxes too. I got that first part. I got like part 2, part 4, and part 6. I got every single, or not, I got 3 out of 6 parts that week. So I went 50%, and then it went on to, I think, one of the James Bond drops. I got that one, and it just continued my streak, which is kind of crazy. But I'll show you guys on my Instagram. This is the first one. So, Drop King. Look at the top. How small. Like, that's what it started on right here. Let me go back. 1, 0. I know. All right, so this way. So look at the top. Look how many drops I've gotten. Oh my God. This is why I said it would take forever, but it's got to be done. 7. There's another one. Like, look how many that is. And this is just the first one. I have another highlight thing. All right, it's almost done. All right, pull that down. And then this is part 2. This is the one that I just started recently. Like, there's so many of them. That's why I feel like my drop percentage has to be above 50% by now. Like, unfortunately, many won't be happy seeing your victory because their pockets are empty, and that is all that matters for them. But we got you, JD, and unfortunately, Kelvin, that's what I think it is. Because I've seen many times. That's what it comes down for a lot of people. And obviously, I would have made money too. But there's a difference when that's all you're about, and I think that shows in a lot of people when the markets are down. What's your thoughts on the silver and black Dragon Girl? The silver, black, and red one, that's probably one of my favorites of the colorway. I think they're going to do amazing. The reason why, Rich J, I love the Dragon Girls is because that's the first ever premium artwork on VeVe. You got to imagine how many amazing artworks are going to be on VeVe. And as a collector, I think long-term, people are going to say, what was the first ever artwork? What was the first premium artwork on the app? It's the last set of Season 1, the Dragon Girls. Now, common and uncommon, the black, silver, and red. And then the common, that like purple, pink, and gold one. I believe those are like the original colorways. And then the rare is the all silver, and then the ultra rare is the gold and silver one. I think they're all going to do great. Simone Legnu, co-founder of Tokidoki, he's an artist himself, so that's another reason why I think that's going to be an interoperable brand. He's an artist. Tokidoki's already on different blockchains or different platforms. And Tokidoki was the first ever license that VeVe had. So I think the customization, the relationship with Tokidoki, Simone, and VeVe is probably one of the best. That's why I think Ripmo got animated, because they probably can do whatever they want with each other's relationship. J-Hove, good question about the P word here. I think maybe an announcement might happen sometime maybe this year. But I don't think, maybe I'm wrong about this. If we get Pokemon on the app, that P word on the app this year, I'll be surprised because I'll be ecstatic, excited. Never know. VeVe could surprise us, But I think, if anything, it might be like an announcement sometime this year, and maybe we see it 2023 or maybe later this year. I really don't know. I've been one of those quote-unquote moon boys that think we have every brand. If we don't have it, we're going to have it one day. But I definitely see that coming eventually one day if we don't already have it. Probably imagine an announcement before we actually see the drops, just because, I kind of thought that would happen with Walt Disney. I didn't think we were going to see Walt Disney until the app was like perfect, but then we got it. So that's what I mean. You never really know for sure. But by the way, I haven't mentioned it yet, but I had a chance to check out your music recently. Really awesome and so good. Any plans to make more? Cheers. Appreciate that big time, man. And yeah, definitely plans to make more. I've been just so mentally locked in. I haven't had a chance to really disconnect myself, which I really need to. It's been about a year straight now. It's been a crazy grind, man. But yeah, definitely. I appreciate you checking it out. And it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I started making music in 2018, and really has to do with, because I was teaching. I got a teaching degree. And I was teaching for a little bit, but just felt so kind of hungry and passionate still. I felt like I was kind of settling if I just stayed teaching. I was looking at kids at recess like, I don't belong here just yet. I'm still passionate. I'm still trying to do a lot of things myself. Teaching something that I want to be able to do later in life, and, motivate kids to say, Mr. Dunn never gave up in life. I could have, but I went after this. I went after that. And that's the kind of motivating teacher I want to be. So, music is one of the things I wanted to try. And because I have that teaching background, I wanted to kind of not make your typical hip hop music, what people do. I love hip hop music, and that's what I did, kind of make that music, I guess you would say. But I kind of wanted to make it more personal as like a teaching. I wanted to teach kids through my music, experiences that I've gone through that, were good, bad, how you get out of those experiences, because nobody in life is perfect. Everybody goes through ups and downs. And I think when especially the youth hears and sees people that they've gone through bad times too and they've gotten out of it or anything like that, it's motivating. It's inspiring to hear this dude's not perfect. This dude didn't have, a perfect way. This guy, went through, bad times, good times, and came out of it. Why? Because he never gave up. And that's why that last album's called Never Give Up, because I want it to be like motivational, inspirational people, because life can get hard, especially when you go through a bad time. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's the time right there where you got to dig deep. You got to put one foot in front of the other and just have that blind faith and just keep going. It's unfortunate. I've seen a lot of my friends who, didn't make it because of whatever reason, but, I just wanted to kind of use my experiences to kind of motivate, inspire kids and just adults, all ages in life. Just if you believe in something, don't give up on it. You're going to eventually get there, whether that takes, it takes sometimes a year for people. You see people, in high school, they want to be a pro athlete. Boom, happens right away. They get drafted out of high school. The same person next to them may have that same dream. It may not happen right away. It may take 3 years. It may take, 5 years, maybe a decade. Some people grind for a whole decade and don't get exactly where they want to be. But if you don't give up, you're going to eventually get there. It's kind of what happened for me. I've been grinding tunnel vision since 2011. It's been just about a decade now. A whole bunch of different things. I thought baseball was going to be it. I still think golf is going to be it. I thought music was going to be it. End up being VeVe, right? And I think it's just the beginning too. So everything I've done in my past has led me to finding VeVe at the most perfect time. That's another thing that gives me confidence that the world works in a crazy way. It leads you to where you're supposed to be, as long as you don't give up. And that's why I made that album and make that music, because at the time it was motivating for me too. Felt like I was making that music also for myself. It kept me motivated, kept me hungry. And I was just trying to, just do things I was passionate about. That's why my saying, my quote I made up, make your passion your paycheck. Because that was like the motto I lived by. The Palace, tuning in. Let's go. I didn't forget about you either after this live stream, my man. I will be joining the Palace's Discord. I want to hop in there, show some love. You guys always show me a lot of love on the lives. Actual Drop King fan. Let's go. And see, that's the thing too. Like, I made that word up, Drop King, just to kind of have some fun with it, because I realized I was hitting at an alarming rate. So I was just like, you know what? I'm the Drop King. I feel like it keeps on going. So I don't know how. Hit Ritmo Gang. I had 2 Ritmos. Walt did a lot to me. When Walt came out and I needed that second Walt, even the first one depleted a lot of my duplicates. Had 2 Ritmos, had 2 of the 2 full sets. But I got rid of the 1 full set. Had to make room for Walt. Also already booming at 1.9K. Yesterday I even saw Hamoon at like I think Miss Rose said 900. It would be cool if they would make free entry for all golden moment holders from November. I mean, for example, in Disneyland Paris are 15,000 people. In Disneyland Florida are 45,000 people per day. Yeah, exactly. And Knight Rider, I agree. And I think a lot of us or some of us were trying to figure out how many people probably hold all the Disney golden moments. And I think a lot of us came to the conclusion probably around like only 2,000 people, maybe even less. I'm thinking around that range. So for Disney to allow 2,000 people to come to their park would not be a lot at all, considering how much they would make in resales, in all that kind of stuff with the percentages of their NFTs. They would probably end up just making more money. So I agree, Knight Rider. I think it's set up for them to have every incentive to make that happen. I would be shocked and I'd be surprised if there is no kind of airdrop or utility access. Like, I'd be really shocked and surprised if there wasn't. But with all that being said today, I will be signing out today, guys. Awesome live stream. Hope everybody was able to get at least something. Maybe if they didn't get it, pick it up in the market for cheap. Excuse me. Or maybe it was something that you just wanted to pass on today, which is perfectly fine too. I think if you do pass on today's drop, there's a lot of opportunities in the market still before things start to run back up, because I already know what the FOMO is going to be like when things are starting to boom. But with that being said, appreciate you guys for all the support tuning in. Jerry, I'm going to be heading into your Discord in a little bit. May even be making my own Discord finally, so it'll be exciting to see that finally take place. But with that said, I'm signing out. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.